Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. This is going to be my weekly group reading for the week of August 30th through to September 5th. It seems really insane that we're already entering into September. The summer flew by, yet at times felt so stagnant and stuck. We're heading into the season of abundance, the harvesting time, and a time to reflect on all that we have. There's a lot to be thankful for, and of course, there's still lots that we need to work through and overcome. And of course, this week we want to stay in that high vibration. When we're in a high vibrational state, we can find creative ways to overcoming the challenges that we're being faced with greater ease and of course with greater success. And the more success we have in staying in that high vibration, the more abundance and fulfillment we're going to be able to achieve in our here and now. So the decks I chose this week, I went with the Witch's Tarot and then the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Now, like always, I have links below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. And the selections I have for this week, my friends, I of course have that Rose Quartz, Carnelian, and the Lapis Lazuli. So what I want you to do now is look at these crystals. Choose whichever one resonates with you the most right now, and then go into the description box below. I have timestamps there. You can select that timestamp and it will take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome, my Rose Quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the Oracle and the Tarot cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Now, without further ado, let's see what the week holds for you guys. What can my Rose Quartz friends expect from the week of August 30th through to September 5th? Vanity. Your ego is going to be getting in your way. Those vain, low vibrational energies that we all have. Now, in varying degrees, we all have a sense of vanity, that priority, what we think is beautiful. We also have a varying degree on how important these aspects are to us and how much time and energy we're allotting to this vanity or obsession on what is aesthetically pleasing, things that we like and dislike. We also have a varying degree of how much we try to push that onto others. There really isn't a right or wrong when it comes to all this. It's more how it's impacting your everyday, how it's impacting your vibration. If this obsession with vanity is lowering your vibration and lowering your ability to look at the bigger picture and see the beauty that's all around you, then it's negatively impacting you. However, if you're able to use this vanity to your advantage, where you are able to see the beauty in everything around you, well, then it's not. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. This is an individual piece. I can tell you that this ego-driven vanity is going to be a challenge for you this week. We need to look at it We need to reflect on how it's impacting us. And we need to make some decisions that are in our greater good. We need to start to make some shifts and changes. And I'm a big believer in these small, steady steps so that we are able to continue to raise our vibration, finding that beauty and fulfillment within our lives, and most importantly, within ourselves. So let's look at this week a little bit more. What does the beginning of the week look like for my rose quartz friends? The Emperor, the fourth card in the Major Arcana. He brings about stability. He brings about that structure that we need. He's going to be the support in helping us deal with some of this vanity, with leveling out, balancing out, and prioritizing what's going to be very meaningful and supportive for us. The beginning of the week really starts off with that very stable foundational energy. And it's in that foundation that we're going to feel strong enough to reflect on what's happening. Make some important decisions for ourselves. Now, if you are feeling really unstable, especially on Sunday or Monday, make sure you're focusing in on this earthy groundedness. Taking time to work with that grounding energy and ground yourself in ways that are meaningful for you, whether that be visualizations, crystals, meditation. If we're feeling unstable, we can connect in to some of that stability that the Emperor is offering us. We do have that stable energy. We just need to call on it and draw it to ourselves. So at the beginning of the week, we are looking at trying to reestablish some of that routine, that structure, so that we are able to make some decisions and start to tweak things. This is really true for my friends who are returning to school and work. We're looking at the beginning of September as that startup for school again. So many of us are getting back into that routine. Starting off early will support you with getting more connected in with the week and what fall is going to bring for you. What about the middle of the week? What can my rose quartz friends expect from the middle of the week? The Queen of Cups. She's the second most intuitive card in the deck. She talks about that need for creativity and that need to follow and be guided by your intuition. She stands for that intuitive creativity that supports us in connecting in and expressing what's truly close to our heart. Part of this week is finding out what is truly important for us. We need to cut away some of that fluffiness that the ego has instilled within us, or started to misdirect and redirect us into things that weren't as important as they really are. This misdirection is a way that the ego causes stagnation within us. It also causes confusion because, yes, we're focused in or obsessed on different pieces. However, that obsession does not bring us abundance nor fulfillment, which causes that confusion and adds to that stagnation. So the middle of the week, it's going to be that expression of what's truly close to our heart. One of the ways that we can connect into that is through our creativity. Whatever that looks like for you, getting out of our head, getting out of that overthinking aspect, and just letting go. Take that deep breath and get your hands dirty. That will help you determine what's close to your heart. Help you reconnect in to some of those very meaningful and fulfilling aspects of you, and get you away from some of this misdirection that we have in our lives. What about the end of the week? What does the end of the week bring, my rose quartz friends? Balance. The Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is that quintessential balance card, right? Life is a juggling act, and there are times that we feel very stable. It may be hard to see on camera here, but he's got a very stable foundation. And then behind him, the seas are a little bit rocky or choppy. That's how life is. It ebbs and flows. When we focus in on what's truly important, we're keeping the eye on this infinity symbol and keeping things in balance. When we have our eye on what's important and we're focusing in on what's going to give us that fulfillment, that joy, that abundance, we're focusing in on the high vibrational aspects of life. We're not focusing in on that low. When we're in that high vibration, we're able to see more and understand with greater ease some of what's happening for us. And most importantly, we're able to see and embrace some amazing opportunities. Depending on what we do during the beginning of the week, we're going to find that balance aligning itself nicely, especially if we are focusing in on that grounding energy in the beginning of the week. When we're grounded and stable, we're able to reflect in more deeply, tapping in to some of these creative energies and finding out more about what's going to bring you that fulfillment and joy. When we're focused solely on that task at hand, what the society or the general public feel, think, or are infatuated with, we're missing pieces and elements in our lives. It's important to slow down and look at reflecting and analyzing what's happening for you, not only in that everyday aspect, but internally and emotionally as well. That reflection helps to raise our vibration and helps us to understand ourselves better, which, like I said, will bring in this balance a lot easier. The one piece about tarot is that it's a map. It'll tell you what is possible, what opportunities may arise, what you can embrace, what you can choose not to follow or connect in with. The important piece here, though, is that you have to choose. You have to do some legwork for this. This is not just going to happen. Life just doesn't happen to us. We have to be active participants in our lives. And that's a big piece that a lot of people are starting to awaken to. That they need to have that fuller and more present participation in their everyday, gaining that fulfillment and that joy. So let's go on to some challenges here. What challenges will my rose quartz friends face for the week of August 30th through to September 5th? the Knight of Wands. Knights are that adolescent, no fear energy. That wand, all about that passion. And that passion is important. However, we're going to be misdirected here. Our courage, our determination to take on that status quo is going to be a little bit lackluster here. Our ego is going to throw in quite the fit, slowing us down, causing more stagnation, and causing a lot more pain for us. We're going to feel unable to tackle some of these bigger pieces. We're not going to have the energy, and that courage to do so won't be there, nor the passion. We've lost some connection here. That passion isn't going to be there. We've lost that connection on what's truly important. So that passion has fizzled. It's really important that we connect into that solar plexus energy. And our solar plexus is around our stomach area. It's a yellow chakra that works with that courage and determination. Additionally, especially during the middle of the week, we want to look at that sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is in our pelvic area, and it's orange. It deals with that creativity, that passion. With these two chakras really having some nurturing and love this week, you're going to find that this Knight turns from an obstacle to an ally, giving us further courage, deepening our passions and our connection and our drive to connect in and reconnect with some of those pieces and aspects that have kind of gone to the wayside. That courage and determination is going to be essential for getting this creativity and connecting it into our passions. There are two aspects of creativity. That intuitive part, where we find that fulfillment, that connection, and then we have that passionate part, where we're connecting it to ourselves, to our lives. Connects into that emotion center of fun and excitement. Right now we have that connection to that intuitional side for guidance and support. That passion, that connection to self isn't there yet. It's something that we need to strive towards and connect in with as we go throughout this week. Which again highlights the importance of that active participation. Because when we're actively seeking out, connecting in, and incorporating different aspects and ideas, we're actively seeking out the information that we need for our greater good. That activity and movement is essential. Let's go into some blessings. What blessing can my rose quartz friends embrace for the week of August 30th through to September 5th? Bittersweet. Well, yeah, it is. It's something that needs to be looked at and released. And this is very true for this week. We need to look at and reflect on what's happening and release what isn't. We may have some enjoyment because we are focused in on aspects that other people are focused in on as well. And we find that connection with others. However, it's not a deep, meaningful connection that's for our greater good. It's fluffy, there's no connection or meaning to that relationship other than those ideas of pop culture, or, well, in some cases, even shunning others. We need relationships that are of high vibration, meaning, and of course, balance. Sharing in on that energy flow. When we have a balanced relationship, it's a give and take. Nobody feels depleted, and everybody feels supported. Right now, we're not looking at that connection. It's too fluffy. We need to connect in on a deeper level with individuals around us. And that can be part of that bittersweet piece. Some of what we need to do is shed relationships, patterns, thoughts, feelings that are based on low vibrational, egocentric ideas and aspects. We're not being ourselves, and that's being called on this week. Kind of being called on our crap, and we need to reflect on it a bit. Sometimes not always the week that we're looking for. However, when we embrace this week for what it is, we find more fulfillment and understanding of self in the long run. Dissipating. This card talks about staying in that box, being consumed by what you're told to enjoy and do, rather than being that active participant that I talked about earlier. We need to have that courage. And this card is connected into that solar plexus chakra I was talking about earlier, of courage and determination. And we need it because we are looking at, well, stretching outside our box. Stretching and pushing our ego. Now these two cards are connected in with your throat chakra. That's about expression and communication. We're not hearing the truth, and we're not expressing our truth. Both are essential for finding that fulfillment and meaning that we're looking for. It's time to be that active participant and look outside those four walls. Connecting in with self, connecting in with that creativity, most importantly, tipping this knight on his feet so we can connect into that passion. I'm going to end off on any further insight, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my rose quartz friends for the week of August 30th through September 5th. Oh, making a mess here. Okay. The Ace of Wands. I said that connection to your passions is going to be essential. We need that intuitive creativity with that passion-based creativity. And we have it here now, upright for you. You can grab this ace. It's a gift. It's a gift from the universe. However, the more grounded and balanced we are, the more able we'll be to embrace this gift. I always see the Ace of Wands as a match, being ready to be struck and erupt into flame. Your ideas just ready to erupt into action. It's up to us to strike that match, connecting into that fulfillment, that excitement, and of course, all the abundance that comes with these new ideas, these refreshed abilities. We're the only ones that can make these shifts and changes in our lives, because we're the only ones that gain that insight and fulfillment from our creativity and our experiences. The Six of Swords. Sixes are about balance and harmony in tarot. That balance, that harmony will be found when we move ourselves forward. The Six of Swords talks about that journey. It talks about carrying all our crap with us and having that movement forward. The reflection that we're looking at is going to help us pretty much get into this boat. Yes, we can challenge some of our ideals this week. That challenge will help us get that oar moving, but we're not going to be able to get to that heart of the matter right now. Reflecting on and understanding what's happening is very different than removing and healing aspects and pieces of self. It's part of it. It's that build-up. It's that pre-work that we need so we can understand what it is we're removing, and most importantly, understand how it is we need to go forward and heal it so that we can continue moving on rather than replacing it with a sharper, deeper sword. The Seven of Swords. That knowledge is essential this week, guys. We've got these double swords this week, guys. We've been talking a lot about that grounded energy, a little bit about that intuition, but we really haven't connected into that emotional state. We gain some rewards from what it is we're doing. We gain some rewards for what it is we're doing. They're not always positive. However, they're a reward. It's our reward that our ego gives us. We're going to be challenging our ego, and in doing so, we're not going to be positively rewarded. Rather, we're going to find that that emotional distress comes up. It's going to be really important that we use our critical thinking skills. Anytime you're looking at that reflection, you're looking at that need for those critical thinking skills. Now, the Emperor has an everyday aspect, and that's the King of Swords. Again, that critical thinking. We need to focus in on that head rather than that heart this week. Because when we're looking at that heart center, we'll be looking at our ego starting to push us and pull us in different areas that aren't for our greater good. The Seven of Swords talks about trying to get away with something that we shouldn't. That ego, puffy and fluffiness. It's time to be real with ourselves. And I don't mean self-critical. I just mean very clear with ourselves on what is important for us. The minute we start to bad talk or belittle ourselves in that internal chatter, we need to shut it down. Whether it's taking a pause or a break from what we're doing, from that reflection, and connecting into something more joyous and fun, or working on some self-love. I've got a number of meditations I did with the archangels that can support you should your ego start to get kind of nasty on you and that internal self-talk turn destructive and non-supportive. The first one, of course, is Archangel Chamuel. It's a fantastic archangel, deals all with that self-love, and that's exactly what we looked at in our meditation. And the other one that I'm thinking of is Archangel Zadkiel, who works with that forgiveness, and then also Archangel Raguel that helps empower us. Free guided meditations that you can revisit as often as you want. These meditations help to readjust and rebalance, which is an essential part of this week. Your brain, we're not focusing on one aspect, we're focusing from both. Meditation is a great way to take on that ego, especially when it starts to turn nasty and that inner chatter starts to get destructive. The one thing that humans can do very well is talk ourselves out of situations and beat ourselves up about past choices. That's not going to support us in any way and is not for our greater good. This week can bring in a lot of emotional roller coasters, so it's imperative that we have that grounded, balanced energy to support us, and that we're not allowing our ego to hijack us through that low vibrational defeatist self-talk. Staying in that high vibration so that you are able to take that shift and baby step towards something that's going to be amazingly abundant. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me this week and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful and that you're able to gain some insight and direction into the week ahead. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing healing and insight is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you want to support me in making more videos and more meditations, I have a Patreon page. And it's not just like anybody else's Patreon page. Yes, it has lots of tiers and perks. And of course, they do include some free readings and healings. But I also have Patreon exclusive readings that I complete just for my Patreon supporters. I provided a helpful link, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my rose quartz friends. Hello and welcome, my Carnelian friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Carnelian friends. What can my Carnelian friends expect from the week of August 30th through to September 5th? Impasse. We're going to feel stuck this week. Many of us are going to have that anxious uncertainty of what September is going to bring. Kids are going back to school. Many businesses are starting up a little bit more than they were before. This uncertainty always causes that feeling of stuck and, well, aggravates that fear. Should I even try? We're going to feel stuck and, well, unclear of how to go forward. That normal path is being blocked. Now, this deck is a deck connected to your chakra system. It's a chakra wisdom oracle. Orange signifies that sacral, which is your second chakra in your pelvic region that is corresponding with that sensuality and passion, and most importantly, creativity. So many of us are focused in on those what ifs and what coulds. We're not focusing in on what's important and gives us fulfillment and joy. We're lacking that passion because we're focusing in and working from that fear-based model. This week, yes, we're going to feel a little bit stuck. However, Whenever we're feeling stuck, it's about that creativity. It's about thinking outside that box and pushing our ego, well, away. We need to be focused in on what's going to bring us that fulfillment and joy rather than what could happen. When we're hyper-focusing in on that fear, we're missing out on the here and now. So let's focus a little bit more on the here and now and see how impassable this object is when we focus in on things that bring us joy, fulfillment, and we're connected in with our everyday. So let's look at this week a little bit more for you. What does the beginning of the week bring my Carnelian friends? So I just looked up and I noticed how orange this all looks. I chose Carnelian because I knew it was going to be a hard reading. I just kind of picked crystals and candles that I feel resonate with the week. And this sacral, this sensual, passionate orange was important. And for this to come up, it really screams how important that sacral chakra is going to be for you. The King of Swords. Now, swords, we're looking at truth and knowledge. And of course that king, we're looking at the most fully developed personality. He has the most power, the most knowledge. And when you're looking at this suit of swords, that's a lot. The one thing about the King of Swords is that he's not focused in on fear. Fear is an emotion. In some cases, he can feel like a tyrant because he doesn't have emotion. Emotions are logical. I always equate the suit of swords as the Vulcan suit because emotions are illogical, sir. You connect into that Vulcan side this week, you're going to go a lot further. You're going to get out of that fear state. You're going to be able to start to take some stock and reflect on what's really happening. What's happening in the here and now, and how you can use that to your best advantage. Because right now we're focused too much on those what ifs, that fear base. Let's get out of it and pass this impasse by outthinking it. That's the one thing your ego can't hold up to, is critical thinking. When you're shooting from the truth, you kind of plow over your ego because your ego is based on fear and heartache, not high vibrational love and truth. And it's in that love and truth that we're going to find our creative way of bypassing this situation and overcoming it with greater ease. Like I said in the introduction, staying in that high vibration helps us create solutions. Helps us create solution and overcome problems. And that's what we need to look at. Staying in that high vibration, working with our skills and our abilities to our best advantage so that we can surpass what it is we need. Let's go on to the middle of the week. What can my Carnelian friends expect from the middle of the week? The Three of Wands. Threes are about expression and growth. That wand, that passion. And it's in that passion. And it's that same passion that's going to ignite our sacral. Now, the Three of Wands is a movement card. The Two of Wands is a decision card. And the Three talks about us putting movement and action into that decision. And that's very much true here. We're going to be making some very critically clear decisions, understanding the situation more fully, and in the middle of the week, we're going to have that ability to start to connect it in. Be that active participant in what's happening for you right now and in your world around you. Now we do have the wand. It's connected to that passion and that creativity. That connection of knowledge and passion is essential. If you see this king, he's got his back to this impasse. It's not even in his scope of worry. Well, let's be honest, he doesn't worry, he knows. He uses his knowledge to his advantage. So we need to turn our back on that fear and use our knowledge to our advantage, igniting it with our passions. This wand, the Three of Wands, looks like he's going to go back behind the King of Swords, connecting the two together. And that's going to be an essential part for this week. Yes, we do need that passion space, which is connected to our heart. However, it needs to be very controlled. It needs to have that stability of knowledge rather than that emotional roller coaster. When we're following our passions and connecting into that creative sense and creative ability, we're able to move ourselves a lot further, especially when we're connecting in and tapping into that knowledge we have. What about the end of the week? What does the end of the week bring, my Carnelian friends? The Six of Pentacles. Sixes are about balance and harmony. That pentacle, we're looking at that groundy, earthy energy. At the end of the week, we're going to feel more stable, more balanced. Our energies are going to be focused in here rather than here. Now, the big piece to this is that we have to put some legwork into this. This isn't just going to happen. We have to be active participants. We need to connect into our passions, and we also need to connect into that knowledge base. That knowledge is going to set us free. The more we're able to rebalance ourselves, the more we're going to feel it near the end of the week. That's when you're going to see that abundance start to flow, and that impasse is going to be very passable. You're going to find another path right beside it going, oh, look at this one. It has so much more abundance. Less scary big guys trying to get in your way. Take that one. You raise your vibration, more opportunities and possibilities become aware to us. We have that ability to see more of what's happening all around us, opening up those amazing, abundant alternatives for us. So let's look at the challenge, because yes, the impasse, it's a bit of a challenge, but it's not our major challenge this week. What challenge will my Carnelian friends face for the week of August 30th through to September 5th? The Eight of Pentacles. We're going to be focused in and hyper-focused on some of those little itty-bitty aspects of those what-ifs. If we focus too much on something, this will happen. Well, we can't focus in on our passions because that bad guy is going to come get us. Those what-ifs, that emotional state is going to be a challenge. And our ego is going to be trying to get us to be in that detailed, orientated space. Especially when you add in the fact that we're being governed by the zodiac Virgo right now. That detailed orientation is going to be a bit of a bear. Again, not an impossibility, but a challenge. We need to be very clear and succinct with ourselves. We can't get caught up in those little nuances and those little aspects and stumbles that can happen during the week. That roller coaster is going to be really raw. We need to focus in on that bigger hopes and dreams rather than putting our blinders on, putting our head down, and almost ostriching ourselves where we're not doing anything. It's another way our ego is going to come in and try and stop some of this movement. Right now we feel like we're at an impasse. Well, this will put our head in the sand and we won't go anywhere. Taking that time, connecting into self, connecting into that knowledge, and most importantly, connecting into that passion so that we can start to rebalance ourselves. A couple meditations that I did with the archangels that are coming to my mind are, of course, Archangel Uriel, which helps us connect into our skills and abilities, that passion center. And then also one that I did with Archangel Jophel. She likes to feng shui our brain and calm that busyness. Calm that hyper-focusing. Allowing for that creative sense to flow freely. And of course I've put a link below to this playlist. It's free and you can revisit and participate in these videos as often as you need. They continue to support you with your healing and your growth. Let's go into some blessings. What blessing can my Carnelian friends embrace for the week of August 30th through to September 5th? Gratitude. I love it. Being grateful for what's happening in the here and now. Not focusing in on what's possibly going to happen, what ifs. We get out of that hyper-focused future scare and we focus in on what's really important right now. Those people, those pieces, ourselves. Being grateful for all that we have. Like I said in the introduction, we're heading into the season of abundance and harvest. It's important that we share our gratitude for all those who've supported us and for ourselves for all that we've been able to accomplish. That gratitude is extremely high vibrational. So we're sharing that love with ourselves and those around us. Miracle. We in ourselves are miracles. What we achieve, how we impact others, can also be seen as miracles. We are able to shift and change ourselves and inspire others to do the same. Focusing in on those amazing pieces that bring joy and light to ourselves and of course those around us. The more we focus in on what's going right, we shift our energies to that positive, giving energy. Well, that's what others and the universe will reflect back to us. We're using karma to our advantage. So shifting that karmic energy of what if to, wow, this is fantastic. That little shift will go a long way in helping you rebalance yourself and bring in some more abundance that you're looking for. So we're going to end off on any further insight, wisdom, and knowledge that we can share with my Carnelian friends for the week of August 30th through to September 5th. The Seven of Pentacles. Sevens can be a bit of a challenging card. However, they can be very victorious. Sevens are a lucky number. So this week, it's going to be essential that we put a little bit of hard work into this week. Putting our back into things and getting going on some of this amazing passion-centered creativity, it's going to help with that abundance. Because again, we're raising that vibration. We're doing something that we truly enjoy. The more we're able to work on ourselves, well, the more abundant, the more fulfilling things are going to be. Part of this work is going to ensure that we stay in that grounded, centered energy. It's really easy to destabilize ourselves through instability and uncertainty when we're dealing with shifting perspective from that low vibration to that of a more high vibration. The more grounded we are, the more stable we feel, the more we're going to be able to make this shift. We do have the King of Swords there. He is stable. He focuses in on routine and structure, and that's going to help us with some of this creativity and refocusing ourselves to the present rather than that what if future. We have the Knight of Cups. Knights are that no fear energy. The cups are about intuition and emotion. The Knight of Cups lends his intuitive creativity to this passion-based creativity. The difference is that intuitive creativity connects us in and provides that fulfillment that we're looking for on that more spiritual understanding. Whereas passion-based creativity focuses in on our connection and our expression of ourselves. The intuition can help guide that passion base. We need both aspects when we're looking at creativity. It helps us understand and connect in to what we're trying to achieve. The Knight also lends his courage and his determination. It's going to take a lot of courage to take on this ego-driven, futuristic, fear-based outlook. Using that courage, that determination will support us in connecting in to this amazing, stable, and creative energy that the week is offering us. Again, it's up to us to do that hard work and connect in to the energies and to the possibilities that this week is offering you. And then finally, the Seven of Cups. It's also known as the Seven Deadly Sins card. It adds illusion and uncertainty to your week. The ego is not going to just lie dormant and allow this to occur. If that hyper-focused in on daily tasks and those little ruts in the road don't slow you down, the ego is going to try and destabilize you in other ways through fear and uncertainty. That's why this stability is so essential. That groundedness and balance will go a long way. Additionally, the intuition that we just talked about is going to be needed to help guide you through this maze that the ego is going to bring forward. You have the abilities, you have the skills to determine which direction, which cup is going to serve your greater good. You have to cut through the illusion, cut through the crap that your ego is putting up, and embrace what's truly important. We have the sword of truth and knowledge. We have the intuition that's going to be able to cut through that. Now, obviously, we do have double sevens. When you have that multiple seven, the angels are telling you you're on the right path. Keep going. And that's very true for what I've been saying in this reading. It's up to us on how to direct this week. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to get some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing healing and insight is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you want to support me in making more videos and more meditations, I have a Patreon page. And it's not just like anybody else's Patreon page. Yes, it has lots of tiers and perks. And of course, they do include some free readings and healings. But I also have Patreon exclusive readings and healings for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Carnelian friends. Hello and welcome, my Lapis Lazuli friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Lapis Lazuli friends. What can my Lapis Lazuli friends expect from the week of August 30th through September 5th? Destiny. Many people believe that we are destined for certain pieces, which is true. We signed up for a journey. We signed up to experience and learn different aspects and pieces. However, it's a big however, we need to be there to actually achieve and work on that experience, that learning. And many of us have become almost ego-driven in the fact that we have a very specific and finite goal that may not be for our greater good. Additionally, we're being impacted by that roller coaster of emotions with fear and heartache driving it. Especially as we enter into September and we're having schools return back into session. There's a lot of anxiety right now. So that fear-based energy is very heavy. We're missing what it is we are set out and wanting to achieve. We're being distracted by the energies, by our fears. We're being blinded by some goals that we set months, years, weeks ago that may not be what we really truly need. This week's going to help us kind of rebalance and put some clarity in what it is we're trying to achieve. So let's look at this week a little bit more. What can my Lapis Lazuli friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Three of Wands. Threes are about expression and growth. That wand is that creativity and passion. The Three of Wands talks about movement, getting going on decisions, getting going on ideas. The beginning of the week, we're going to feel ready to go. Let's go, yay! However, we haven't put that reflection in on where the heck we're going. We need to slow down that desire and push to go and figure out exactly where it is we're going to go. Or what's going to happen is that we're going to jump off a cliff and find even more challenge and heartache at the end. Slowing down at the beginning part of the week will go a long way in that progression, in that understanding. It's amazing how that drive and inner fire and gung-ho-ness can get us going. We need to take some deep breaths. We need to literally ground ourselves so that we are able to receive some guidance on where it is we're supposed to go. How we can align ourselves better with more fulfillment and joy than what we're currently receiving. Let's go on to the middle of the week. What can my Lapis Lazuli friends expect from the middle of the week? So I just kind of looked up and caught a lot of twos here. We have that balance of white and black there. We have these two masters, and we have two wands that are standing right behind him. When you start to see multiple twos like that, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean it's like printed somewhere, but you start to see groupings of, it's the same thing as when you see on your clock 3 twos. In angel messages, the angels are telling you to keep the faith and don't give up. These messages are hidden in plain sight. It's up to us to slow down. And again, that slowing down is going to be essential to observe and receive that message. The middle of the week. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the High Priestess, the second card in the Major Arcana. And I'd like to point out, there was no way I knew what card that was. It jumped out for me. I had looked at it. The High Priestess is the most intuitive card in the deck. She also talks about that balance. And I mentioned that here. Got that white and black. Again, we have that same here. That balance is going to be essential. The more balanced we are, the more we're going to be able to tap into this amazing guidance that we need. That guidance that's going to help us go forward. We have that drive. We have that passion. We just don't really know where it is we need to go. We have come off that destined path, and we do need to realign, and we do need to start going forward with it. So the High Priestess comes in the middle of the week, taking that time, being observant to these messages, that wisdom and guidance that's going to come in different ways for everybody, in different velocities. The important piece, taking the time, slowing down, and being open to these messages, no matter what they're saying, because a lot of them are going to realign us with where we need to go. And that realignment may be very different from what we're currently experiencing and doing. What about the end of the week? What can my Lapis Lazuli friends expect from the end of the week? The Nine of Cups. Nines are about all that we've achieved in our lives, all that we've been able to experience and create. The Nine of Cups is one of those prosperity cards, the abundance cards. Another good one would be the Nine of Pentacles. again, we've got that abundance. The Nine of Cups is talking about all that you've experienced, all that you've lived through, and how it has created stability, foundation, and abundance. We're going to be able to realign ourselves back to something that's more connected in to that abundance, back to that fulfillment. Because right now, we're just going for going's sake. Sometimes it's avoiding some of those pieces and aspects that we do need to confront, that we do need to release and heal. Our ego screams at us that it's scary and it's going to be painful, and so we try to avoid what the inevitable is going to be. That's why I said the message is you need to be open to them, whatever they're going to say. If we try to doctor them or spin them in a way that is more pleasing to our ego, we're still going to miss out on this fulfillment and abundance. It's up to us to make those decisions. It's up to us to be truthful to self and start to make some shifts and changes that are going to be in more accordance to what we need. These shifts and changes do not need to be leaps and bounds. I never recommend that, as those leaps and bounds have a tendency to cause instability, which has a tendency to take us back to where it is we started from, back to the same coping mechanisms and patterns that we feel stable with. So this shift and change should be slow and progressive, steady and supported. This way, when we become unstable for whatever reason, we feel that instability coming forward, we rely on higher vibrational coping mechanisms rather than something that feeds our ego and is easy to fall back into. That way your shift and change is more sustainable and maintainable. And that's a big piece. We have things that we want to learn, we want to experience. And we're avoiding them right now because of fear. And that fear is stemmed from your ego. So let's look at the challenge. What challenge will my Lapis Lazuli friends face for the week of August 30th through to September 5th? The Knight of Wands. Like I said in the beginning part of this reading, we're going to feel that need to get up and go. And get up and go really fast on a horse. Because that is going to avoid some of this check and balance that we need to put into place. That reflection, that openness to the wisdom and guidance that we need to bring us back to that fulfillment and abundance. So basically, your ego is going to be on fire and pushing you hard, encouraging that creative, passion-based flame. We need to take those deep breaths. We need to douse that flame with a little bit of water and a lot of groundedness. Another tool to support you in calming some of this inner rush and go is a meditation I did with Archangel Gabriel. It helps to calm your mind, so reducing that need to go and being open to the messages that are going to be really important to us. I provided a link below to my meditation playlist because there's a lot of meditations that I've been creating for my friends so that they're able to work on and connect into what's really important. We are all on different paths and we all have different needs. However, We know scientifically that meditations help to calm us, helps to reduce blood pressure, and helps to realign our brains so we're not firing from one aspect. We're able to make a clearer decision. So let's go on to some blessings. What blessing can my Lapis Lazuli friends embrace for the week of August 30th through to September 5th? Quest. We need that direction. We need that perseverance. Whenever you undergo a quest-like endeavor, think of the Holy Grail, if you will. They were very dedicated to their purpose, to their journey. And that's what we need to be. We need to be more focused in on what this journey and experience is supposed to be like. The colors on the border here coincide with one of your chakras. For example, this kind of smoky gray color here, that's your crown chakra. This vibrant blue is connected to your throat chakra, which is connected to the communication, receiving and being open to information, wisdom, and guidance. Very much what we're looking at here. We need to be open to that direction so that we can be successful on our quest. Perfection. This one, of course, being connected into our root chakra, that stability. Now, perfection is very much in the eye of the beholder. It too can be distorted very easily and quickly by our ego. We all strive for that perfect life, that perfection within self. Yet, the understanding and clarity of what perfect is very person-orientated. Rather than trying to go for the quote-unquote perfect life, maybe try and see the beauty and the wonder that is held in everything. When you feel that you are perfect for where you need to be, and that you want to continue on this amazing quest, and that perfection will only grow and flourish, is a very different perspective than that perfect life, because you put limitations on yourself. And it's in those limitations that we gain that misdirection and stagnation. Perspective matters. There's perfection in everything. Staying in that high vibration will help you connect in easier with greater understanding of that wisdom and guidance that we need. Also helps us to raise the vibration of those around us. When we see that perfection, that beauty, that wonder in others, it reflects back onto them, helping raise their vibration and ours. So let's go on to the final section here. Any further wisdom, insight, and guidance that we can share with my Lapis Lazuli friends for the week of August 30th through September 5th. The Hermit, the 9th card in the Major Arcana, and it talks about that inner journey, that need to go inwards for greater understanding, greater connection with that high vibrational source to receive the guidance that we need. When we strengthen ourselves inwardly, we are able to have that stability to go forward, that strength to overcome whatever challenges that await us. Now we do have double nines, so the Hermit, and then of course the Nine of Cups. In angel messages, when you have that multiple 9, the angels are telling you that this is a time to work on your soul's deeper purpose, which is very true when you come to that destiny. What we have signed up to experience and learn. The Queen of Cups. She's the second most intuitive card in the deck, next to that High Priestess. The Queen of Cups is actually the everyday representation of the major arcana, the High Priestess. This major archetype of connection, intuitive skills, and understanding of that universal knowledge. The Queen of Cups encourages us to add that into our everyday. The way the Queen of Cups encourages us to connect into this intuitive knowledge and experience is through creativity and allowing yourself to express what's truly close to your heart. When we get into that creative aspect, we start to get out of our heads. We get out of that, I must. You take that deep breath and you start to have fun. You start to focus in on that creative element. And you're not so focused in on that end result, on what is expected of you. You're getting out of your head, which allows those higher vibrational beings to start to come in and inspire you and guide and of course nurture you forward. This week, one of the ways that we can deal with this busyness that our ego is going to be pushing on us is scheduling in some time for self and getting out of our head, getting into that creativity and enjoying ourselves, being open to what amazing aspects that are going to come to us. The Six of Swords. Now, sixes are about balance and harmony. We've got another balance card. Balance is essential. We can't spend our entire week focused in on this inner journey and creativity. We do have different expectations and responsibilities that we need to cover. That balance is going to be essential. When you schedule things in, so you have very clear and defined timelines for things, you get away from that must, and you realize, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to be working on this. I'm giving myself time for that creativity between this time and this time on these certain days. You're able to achieve a lot more through very stable and clear ways, rather than that must get up and go. Calming yourself, dousing that fire with a lot of intuitive water. Now, the Six of Swords also talks about that movement forward. We are going to be moving forward, not at this rate. This, again, we've got that water, right? That slow and meaningful progression. We're going to be carrying our burden with us. Nowhere here does it say we're going to release or heal. We're going to calm. That's a big part of this week, is calming ourselves. But we're not going to be working on that burden. This is a time where you need to focus in on calming that inner energy, balancing it out, and having a very productive outlet for that energy that's going to bring us in more alignment of what we're supposed to be doing. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you want to support me in making more videos and more meditations, I have a Patreon page where you can support me in doing so. Now, like many other Patreons, I've got lots of tiers and perks. And of course, some of those tiers and perks are free readings and healings with myself. However, I also have Patreon exclusive videos that are specifically tailor-made for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Lapis Lazuli friends.